Hello, Justin, back again for another update on the Hugelkultur raised bed garden. It's June 20th. I've been at this for about a week. I started on it last week and I've been doing this in my spare time. Check my previous videos for to see how this all came together. I'm not done yet, but I'm hoping to be done today. So I was just going to take you along, quick update, show you how things are going. Last time you saw it, just had those big logs on top. I put those logs down, then I put a bunch of grass clippings on. I mowed my lawn. Oh, doesn't it look nice? I mowed the lawn, then I spread out a nice layer of grass clippings over everything. Then I put down some azomite, which I have talked about in previous gardening videos, but it's a rock dust which adds 70 trace minerals to your soil, which is a really good thing you can do if you're organic gardening, whether you're gardening in the native soil or building a raised bed, or a raised bed like these with a compost, Mel's mix from the Square Foot Gardening books type soil. The azomite adds the trace minerals which most soils are kind of devoid of, and which is going to help your plants grow nice and big. And they say your vegetables taste better too, and you end up eating those minerals, which is good for you. So as you can see, I mean, I have pretty good growth here. Look at these collard greens. They're a little chewed up, but I mean, I get huge collard greens, huge kale. My beans are, I need to go through, let's see. Oh yeah, there's quite a few green beans ready to harvest in here. Beets, got one going to seed here. So that means it's time to pick. Squash, the squash plants are getting big, these big leaves here. And there's a few, there's a little guy growing on there. So there's a few squash kind of starting to grow, but I really haven't harvested any squash from there yet. Tomatoes are nice and big plants, at least most of them. And there's lots of tomatoes growing on, none ripe yet. I do have one. No, yeah, it's a sun gold, sun sugar tomato. Little yellow cherry tomatoes. But anyway, back to this. So after I put the grass clippings and the azomite on there, watered everything down. Every time I've added a layer, I'm watering it in just to help everything settle and keep everything moist, because all those logs and everything, all that woody debris and leaves and such really needs to be saturated to help start that decomposition that's gonna make this bed self-fertilizing. So then after the grass clippings and the azomite, I put on a layer of this stuff back here that I have in this corner, which was wood chips that I got from the city that I used for mulching the playset over there. But it was wood chips, and then there was some other debris mixed in, and it had actually started to compost pretty good over the last, I don't know, 3 weeks. 3 weeks or a month is when I built that, when I put together that playset and had all the wood chips left over. So I mixed in a little bit of other organic matter that was already kind of decomposing, and some green matter, and it had started to break down pretty good sitting over here. It steamed a little when I dug into the pile, so I took out kind of the stuff from the middle that was starting to decompose or whatnot, and left some of the wood chips. And I'm probably going to put these on top of the Hugelkultur as the final layer, as a good mulch to keep it insulated and keep the soil moist and cool. And so after that layer of some of that broken down wood chip business, went back here to my secret stash. These are my milk crates for getting over this fence. And I started digging out in this big pile back here. And there's a lot of good soil in there. I mean, just really good forest floor, broken down sticks and leaf mold type soil. And I did get down into the pile a little and realized that there was like a tire in there. You can see it right there. And there's some big rocks and a cinder block, I think. So these people just piled a bunch of shit back up here. But I got a lot of good soil out of it. So I put on a couple layers of that soil with some azomite in between again, and watered that all in. Now this is what I've got. And I just put a little bit of a little bit of worm castings. You can see this business right here. That's my worm castings I made. I just put that on top. I'm gonna water it in, and then I'm gonna start topping it off with this, which is my homemade compost, which has some other stuff mixed into it, some peat moss and some vermiculite that I use in my other raised bed gardens. Super light and fluffy, super nutritious. I mean, this homemade compost is one of the big keys to successful organic gardening because it's made up of a lot of different stuff. It's got a good biodiversity going on. So I'm gonna put that on there, and then back from by the secret stash again, there's a bunch of leaves, some shredded up ones, looks like. I'm going to kind of rake those up and put that down as an initial mulch layer, and then put the wood chips on top. So this is just a quick update on this. Hopefully I finish this up today, and I'll be back at you with the final installment later today, hopefully. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.